It's day 6 of the Great Wi-Fi Famine. Your phone's deader than disco. The neighborhood squirrel just declared himself supreme overlord of the compost heap, and someone, probably Kevin, just pawned your last working AA battery for a single lukewarm sardine. The darkness is coming for your TikTok drafts. Hey survivors, welcome back to our channel, the hand-drawn guide to staying mostly functional when the world gets weird. Today, we're sketching exactly how to scrounge for a flicker of phone life from literal garbage, purely for laughs and fictional preparedness, of course. Picture this. The world's gone sideways. The grid is a distant nostalgic hum. You're trapped in your bunker, or more likely, your slightly damp shed, surrounded by the detritus of a forgotten consumer age. And what's the one thing you crave? Not food, not water, not even a fresh pair of socks. No, you crave that glorious, elusive 1% charge on your mobile device. Just enough to, what? Play Snake? Send a frantic, nonsensical emoji to a contact who probably vanished 3 apocalypses ago? The motivation is irrelevant. The quest is everything. So, how does one, hypothetically, embark on this fool's errand of digital resurrection? Well, it starts with a philosophical question. Where do the tiny, forgotten suncatchers of our past live? Check the sketch. See that pile of broken garden gnomes? Those aren't just lawn ornaments anymore, friend. They're potential powerhouses of, well, very little power. Scenario number 1. The luminous lawn gnome liberation. It's dawn. The air smells vaguely of burnt toast and existential dread. You stumble upon a patch of what used to be a prize-winning petunia bed, now home to a society of vaguely sinister garden gnomes. One of them, perhaps Gorman, has a solar-powered LED hat. Your mission, should you choose to accept this entirely fictional endeavor, is to politely negotiate for Gorman's hat. Or, more likely, just sort of liberate it. Once you've acquired your miniature, dust-covered solar panel, the real comedic challenge begins. You've got this tiny square of silicon, maybe a couple of frayed wires dangling like sad spaghetti. Now what? Well, if this were a real survival guide, I'd tell you to grab a multimeter and a soldering iron. But this isn't real. This is pure, unadulterated, darkly funny fiction. So, hypothetically, you might try to connect those wires to anything. A paperclip? A rusty spoon? The antenna of a decrepit radio that only picks up static and the faint whispers of disgruntled spirits? Go for it. Scenario number 2. The RoboPet resurrection. Imagine scavenging through the ruins of a forgotten toy store. Among the headless dolls and deflated bouncy castles, you spot it. A solar-powered robotic dog. Its plastic fur is faded, one eye is missing, and it smells vaguely of forgotten dreams and nickel-cadmium batteries. But inside that metallic marvel, a slightly larger solar panel, probably designed to make it wag its tail sporadically in direct sunlight. Now, again, if this were actual instructions, I'd detail precise disassembly. But we're purely in the realm of narrative farce here. So, let's say you, a fictional scavenger of immense impracticality, attempt to persuade the robot dog to part with its power source. Perhaps you offer it a linty piece of emergency jerky. Perhaps you engage it in a philosophical debate about the nature of artificial intelligence in a post-human world. Or, more likely, you gently coax it open with a blunt object, revealing its shiny, albeit tiny, solar heart. The problem, as you'll quickly discover in this glorious narrative, is that these scavenged solar bits often produce not enough. We're talking millivolts. Enough to power a particularly lazy glowworm, maybe, but your smartphone? That's like trying to fill a swimming pool with an eyedropper, a rusty eyedropper, in a hurricane. The great USB adapter myth. The elusive USB port. In this hypothetical post-apocalyptic wasteland, USB adapters are rarer than a kind word from a tax collector. You might find a dozen different charging cables, none of them compatible with anything you own. You might spend a week trading precious non-perishable crackers for a strange multi-headed octopus-like adapter that promised to charge everything. It charges nothing, except maybe your sense of overwhelming futility. Check the sketch on screen now, my personal collection of power-providing junk. A broken calculator with a tiny panel, a keyring flashlight with an even tinier one, and a defunct weather station that briefly blinked before deciding the apocalypse wasn't worth documenting. It's a collage of misplaced hope. So, you've gathered your assortment of sun-baked silicon wafers. You've got your mismatched wires. You've got your dubious, possibly cursed USB adapter. What next? Well, in our fictional universe, you might construct an elaborate Rube Goldberg machine. A grand sun-worshipping altar of repurposed electronics. The sun shines, the tiny panels collect, maybe, just maybe, an LED blinks on a single, solitary, tragic moment. Dramatic beat. Not on your phone, oh no, but on a broken toy car. And for that brief, glorious second, the toy car wiggles. It's a miracle of sorts, a tiny, pointless miracle. And that, my friends, is the true spirit of the post-apocalyptic DIY solar phone charger. It's not about actually charging your phone. It's about the elaborate, often absurd lengths we'd go to in the pursuit of charging our phone. It's about the sheer, unadulterated joy of fiddling with wires and junk, even if the end result is powering a plastic flamingo for exactly 0.7 seconds. Because, let's be real, what are you going to do with a charged phone anyway? Call emergency services? They're probably busy trying to figure out why the sky is now plaid. Text your family? They're likely in a different time zone, possibly a different dimension. No, you charge your phone because it represents a connection to the before, a tiny, glowing ember of a forgotten world. And sometimes, just having that ember, however dim, is enough to keep you from trading your boots for a collection of interesting pebbles. Or maybe you just want to take a selfie with the squirrel overlord. Priorities. Bottom line, when things go sideways and the tech gods abandon us, the pursuit of a DIY solar charger from junk isn't about power. It's about retaining a sliver of that pre-apocalypse engineer spirit. It's about the noble, ridiculous quest. And it's about having a funny story to tell your imaginary companions while you wait for the next, entirely fictional meteor shower. That's it for today's page from the Apocalypse Sketchbook. If this entertained you for at least 5 minutes, hit like, drop your funniest hypothetical survival idea in the comments, the more absurd the better, and subscribe so the next disaster feels slightly more ridiculous. Stay sharp, stay weird, and I'll see you in the ruins. The imaginary ones.